Hello guys, Grigoli here from PingPongG, and today we will be covering the most popular shot in table tennis, which is a forehand topspin. Forehand topspin is the main weapon with which you score those winners. So stick with me to find out how to do it efficiently. However, before you tackle forehand topspin, it is mandatory that you know the precondition to it, which is a forehand drive. If you cannot perform 20 or 30 balls in a rally with a correct form, then there's no point into attempting to learn forehand topspin, because the mistakes that you make for a forehand drive is amplified by 10 times in forehand topspin. It's going to be more visible and it's going to be harder to fix down the road. So make sure you check out the video on the forehand drive and master it first properly, and then come here and continue learning forehand topspin. There are primarily three types of forehand topspins that you can perform in a game. First one is a forehand topspin on a normal drive or a blocked ball. Second one is a forehand topspin, which allows you to lift up the ball which has backspin or underspin on it. And thirdly, a forehand topspin when the incoming ball also has heavy topspin on that. So in this video we will address each of those three kinds of topspins and what kind of unique characteristics and different approaches each one requires. So we know how to hold the racket, we know what the ready position is. Now let's get to business. Unlike the forehand drive, when we are performing forehand topspin on a normal incoming ball, we firstly have to close our racket angle more towards 45 or 50 degrees. Secondly, our preparation has to be more complete. So as you can see, in this case, unlike the forehand drive, my forearm appears completely parallel to the table, and that's the least amount of preparation you have to do. Can go slightly more behind to generate more power, but for consistency I would recommend just doing this much should be enough at this level. So we break it down. The racket angle is closed. For preparation we make sure the forearm is parallel to the table, so a good preparation while turning over our shoulders and hips properly. Here, of course, we do the pause, which applies to every single stroke in table tennis. And now here's the trick for forehand topspin. Firstly, as the ball arrives and you are initiating the stroke, the hit part itself, you also, right before the contact, get your wrist involved, and throughout the whole motion, this is what happens with your wrist the moment you contact the ball. Secondly, as you swing, your follow through, unlike forehand drive, which finishes in front of your face. For forehand topspin, you need your bat to be almost the same level as your right eyebrow, in case of a right-hander. So once more, racket angle closed, we prepare well, we pause, we initiate the swing, and the wrist starts to get involved right before contact, and we follow through till our right eyebrow. So let's see how it looks like in action. Now let's go through what happens when the incoming ball has underspin or backspin on it. How do we deal with that? As usually, we start with the angle of our racket, which in this case, it has to be almost so open that the upper edge is staring at the ceiling and the down edge is looking at the floor. So you can see it's almost 90 degrees open. Secondly, we also adjust our motion pass a bit too. So the ball has underspin on it, which means if it touches the surface of the rubber, it's gonna fall down. To counteract that, we need to lift the ball up from below the table upwards to counteract all that backspin and apply our own topspin on the ball. So what happens? Our racket angle is open, and now instead of going backwards, we drop our racket below the table and just behind our knee. This is the location from which you start topspin to lift up the ball with a heavy underspin. Now you can see that once again most of my weight is on my right leg, and I'm doing a good pause here to wait for the ball to arrive. As the ball reaches its highest point and right after it starts to descend, that's when you initiate the motion once again from your left foot, in case of a right-hander, to your hips, your shoulders, and the hand being the last part of the equation. You tense everything and you brush the ball up. Now naturally, as you are about to contact the ball, here you also utilize your wrist to add that more spin on the ball, and the follow through ends up right above your head. And this is done in order to apply your own topspin on the ball well enough in order to counteract all the backspin that the ball has and pull it over on the other side of the table. Let's take a look at how it works on an incoming underspin ball. And now the final part. How do we deal with a ball that already has good amount of topspin on it? Well, once again, we come back to the angle of the racket, in which case this should be close to about 50 degrees at least. The explanation is simple. The ball that has topspin, if it hits an open back angle, it's going to fly away somewhere. So we close to counteract that. For the preparation, it's the same as for the one we do on the normal ball, right? We take it just back so the forearm is parallel to the table, and that is already sufficient. From here we pause, and afterwards is the thing that happens differently. Essentially, what you have to do when the ball has topspin is that your swing must be more forward rather than diagonally upwards as we did for the previous two topspins, right? So from here we go forward and finish it about the same height where we do for the forehand drive. The difference here is that we really have to go through the ball instead of lifting it upwards, because otherwise it's going to fly away. So we press forward with our body prominently more compared to two other forehand top spins. We cannot neglect the role of our legs, hips and shoulders in all of this. So you can see the rotation happens by transferring the weight, which is split 50-50. About 70% goes to the right leg in order to utilize this force to propel you forward afterwards. So using the body is crucial for generating power for the ball. In all kinds of forehand topspins, it's essential to understand that the harmony between your legs, hips and shoulders and how your hand behaves as an extension of yourself is crucial to make sure that everything is put together and it all works with one mission to put the ball on the other side of the table with a good topspin. I'm not going to take off my shirt again, but as you initiate the stroke itself after the pose, you need to tense your forearm, your core, your lateral and chest muscles, as well as squeeze your fingers well enough at the point of the contact to make sure that you control where the ball flies and how your motion behaves. Go back to my forehand drive video in case you do not know what I'm talking about and take a look at the relax, tense, relax cycle which is explained over there. That's all there is to forehand topspin. Make sure to practice it steady and slow in order to do as many repetitions as possible so that then you can increase power and spin on that. Please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel because I'll be busting out more videos that explain table tennis technique in detail. Cheers!